Gloria Hall, Editor-in-Chief of Chiropractic Economics. I'm excited to have Dr. Cindy Howard here to talk about her article, How Nutrition and Laser Therapy Work Better Together. Dr. Cindy, thanks for being here today.
Gloria, thank you. It's just a privilege to be chatting with you about chiropractic in the article. It's great.
Awesome. To start us off, can you tell us a little bit about you, your philosophy, and your practice?
Sure. So I've been in practice for, a little over 26 years now. And my practice is rooted not only in the science of chiropractic, but also in internal medicine and nutrition. So I had the opportunity going through school to meet some amazing mentors that were in this space of primary care, and not realizing that that was something that we could incorporate into practice. I latched on pretty quickly. So my very first chiropractic patient was a person who came in with a herniated disc that we also treated through really good laboratory work and nutrition very successfully. So I've been able to incorporate those things in my personal practice. I've been in private practice for that long, and doing all kinds of neat different things, and always looking for new opportunities to expand that aspect of chiropractic.
Well, thank you. Can you go into a little bit more detail on the article and provide some key advice to DCs for considering integrating nutrition and laser therapy?
Sure. So one of the reasons behind the article was to encourage people to think a little bit differently about the different modalities that we have available to us in practice. And I think we get really caught up in, we find a niche, we do one thing really well. And yet there's so many different things that we can bring into practice that when coupled together can create a much better outcome. So one of the cool things for me is in 26 years of just doing a lot of nutrition, supplementation, food, and teaching patients how to do that, I found that sometimes the effects weren't as great as they could be, right? There might be absorption issues, digestion issues, potentiation issues, and always used laser in my practice, but they were always very separate, right? Like somebody came in, they had a condition, we did laser. Somebody came in and they had a condition and we went down this nutrition path. And when I started to bring them together, I found that the outcomes were faster, better, longer. And then it started to get me to rethink about what else can we pull from the different modalities and the different ways we practice to couple things. So the drive behind that article, and for whatever reason, we picked laser and nutrition together because there's lots of good things you can couple, but it's been sort of a new, unique perspective, at least for me, to go, oh, this makes perfect sense. So when we take laser therapy and we know that we can increase ATP production, we can affect the mitochondria of the cells, we can affect the microbiome and how well we absorb nutrients, it now makes more sense to me to go, well, if I'm trying to get people to absorb a nutrient to get an outcome, and the laser therapy can increase the absorption by affecting the microbiome, now it's a no-brainer, so to speak, to put them together. So when people read the article, yeah, I would love for you to dive nutrition and laser, but hopefully that stimulates the thought of what other modalities do you have in your practice that when coupled together can work better.
Are there any real life examples you can cite?
Oh, you know what? That's the fun part about this is when we look at it. One of my favorites, which I talk about a little bit in the article, is actually Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So we see a lot of patients with autoimmune disease, and it's interesting how the nutrients play such a role in regulating the immune function to work better. But what we see is organs get affected by that too. So the liver is affected, the pituitary is affected, the thyroid is affected. And by using laser therapy over the organs, that allows better function as well, coupled with the nutrients. So it's actually been kind of odd because we've seen great success in balancing the immune system through a lot of laboratory type success. But now by stimulating the organs to function better and behave themselves, we get better outcomes. And we've actually seen reduction in antibodies, which is very hard to do, sometimes even with nutrition alone. And when we can reduce the antibodies, the immune system behaves more appropriately to stop attacking the thyroid gland, which gets it to regulate better. And now we can eliminate the diagnosis of, let's say, hypothyroidism as a result of a poor functioning immune system. On the musculoskeletal side, it's been equally fun because we see reduction in inflammation and pain, let's say with just a knee arthritis, and where I'm very quick to give a glucosamine, a chondroitin, an MSM, some sort of substance to help increase the fluid in the joints, or a bromelain or curcumin or omega-3 to reduce inflammation, now coupled with the laser, where it might have taken us weeks to get that patient out of pain, we're seeing that even just a couple visits, the percentage of pain in terms of their reduction is happening much faster. So less treatments, faster ability to get the pain gone, and greater success and really satisfaction for the patient. So whether it's on the nutritional side or the immune side or the musculoskeletal side, we're seeing great results in the practice that way. And it's been fun to share some of those personal experiences.
Oh, it's really exciting.
Oh,
Can you share some findings from the research to support the benefits of integrating nutrition and laser therapy?
so research is really kind of fascinating, and sometimes it's actually hard to find that way. But I think the greatest things that we see is that because laser, and we've got lots of research to support that it stimulates metabolic pathways, when we do that, that increases the absorption. So if we can use the nutrient around the time that we use the laser therapy, if we're seeing that metabolic pathways increase, then the ability for that nutrient to get into the cell is actually greater. And we've actually got proof of that through some of the research. A lot of the research, unfortunately, is very symptom based and condition based, where we have to dive a little bit deeper to go, okay, what is the laser actually doing? Again, coming back to the mitochondria, the ATP production, the gut microbiome, and then making that leap to say, okay, well, if we're improving those things and nutrients need those things in order to function better, then we can couple it together. And I'll tell you, like anything else in chiropractic medicine, more research is actually needed. And it would be great to see more specific programs done where we actually take a nutrient and the laser together and couple that in research. Tremendous amounts of case studies out there, but we definitely need more of the double-blind, peer-reviewed research in order to support that.
Something I've been hearing more and more. So
it's true. It's true.
So, with October being Chiropractic Health Month, can you share why you became a chiropractor and what chiropractic means to you?
So the story to becoming a chiropractor is actually kind of funny because I don't actually have that great story, right? Like a lot of my peers, they were affected or saved or inspired by a chiropractic. I was raised in a very allopathic family. You know, we did antibiotics for everything. I actually never saw a chiropractor until I was in college and was in a car accident and somebody dragged me for a couple visits. But it really, even though it helped me, it wasn't that like light bulb, life changing. I want to grow up and be this, right? So it's interesting because when I went to college, I was a dance major. And as much as my whole dream was to be a professional dancer, and then I realized how broke you are being a professional dancer, I changed courses. So I went into exercise physiology. So I got my undergrad in exercise physiology. And oddly enough, I was applying to physical therapy school. I wanted to be a physical therapist. And Gloria, I'm almost like, I couldn't get in. Like I didn't have the grades. It was so competitive at that time that no program would take me. So I went into sales because my dad said, go into sales, you'll be good at it, you'll make a lot of money. I made a lot of money. I spent every dime I ever made. I do my appointments in the morning, I go shopping in the afternoon with my commission. And I got tired of sales really very quickly. And this is the dumbest reason to go to chiropractic school. But somebody said to me once, why would you go to physical therapy school and be told what to do? Because back then they needed direction. Now they're autonomous and it's great that they have that. When you can go to chiropractic school and tell the physical therapist what to do. And I went, oh, I love to tell people what to do. This sounds like an awesome profession. And I applied and I got in. I needed a couple prereqs and I got in and I just went. And it was sort of this blind faith of like, I love the idea of health and wellness and fitness because I wanted to be in that space. So I'm going to give this a shot. And what was really cool, because I didn't have the initial story, is now I have the follow-up of I fell in love with the profession. I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with the ability to truly sit and listen to patients and figure out what's going on and why is it going on and how can I help you? And it's the relationships that I have in practice that have been so rewarding that now I have the story of how much I love chiropractic. And I just didn't know it until I started school and opened the doors.
Mhm.
And truly, like, I eat, breathe, drink. Almost couldn't get that out. I eat, breathe, and drink this profession in a way that I adore it. And there, anything that I can do to help perpetuate the education, the knowledge, the access, to a profession that truly does change lives. It just didn't change mine until I said yes to going to school.
That's a great story. That's
Thanks.
great.
It's,
Yeah,
it's the one I've got, Gloria.
yeah,
So,
no, that's a great story. So as we approach 2026, what do you see as the biggest trends or topics that DCs should be aware of?
yeah,
That's
this is a really hard question because there's probably a ton of great answers to it. But I think one of the big answers I would have is collaboration. And it's collaboration even just within your own practice. Again, figuring out what tools you have and how you can access them to give patients more options. But it's also collaboration with each other, right? And I find that we sometimes sit in this little bubble of our practice by ourselves, feeling sometimes alone or afraid to go outside of that. And there's so many intelligent people in this space that have ideas and knowledge that I don't have, that could be such a benefit to the patient, that if we would just work together and share stories and ideas and patience, that collaboration, I think, could really truly elevate us as a profession and really elevate the outcome for the patient that they're looking for, right? Because they just want to get well. And we just don't access that enough, in my opinion, is that collaboration with each other.
okay. That sounds like a good topic for an article.
Oh, did I just get roped into that? I think I got roped into that,
Maybe,
but I'm
maybe.
happy to do it. I'm happy to
Right.
do it
It's
because
a great topic for an article. Dr. Cindy, thank you. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for your contribution to chiropractic economics and your contribution to the chiropractic profession. Glad to have you here today.
thank you, Gloria. It's been my pleasure. And I thank you for trusting me enough to share with our audience my ideas. And hopefully they can take what they want and collaborate better and help more people.